Hey guys, Mr. Rouleau's back and just doing some baking again. We're going to do egg-free brownies, okay? So we're going to start doing our recipe, filling in the missing ingredients and directions, and then we'll get going here. Okay, so you're going to need 1.5 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour. You're going to need 1 cup of white sugar. You're going to need 1/2 cup plus 1 tablespoon of unsweetened cocoa powder. You're going to need 3/4 teaspoon baking powder. You're going to need 3/4 teaspoon salt. You'll need 3/4 cup water. You're going to need 3/4 cup vegetable oil and a 3/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, so the thing about 3/4 teaspoons is there's no such thing as 3/4 teaspoon. So you take the 1/4 teaspoon 3 times, okay? When we are measuring our water and our oil, we'll be using a liquid measure, and there is actually a 3/4 measurement on the actual liquid measure, okay? So we'll be using that. Awesome. So first step, preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Second step, in a large bowl, stir together the flour, sugar, cocoa powder, baking powder, and salt. Step 3, pour in water, oil and vanilla, mix until well blended. Step 4, spread evenly in a 9 by 13 inch baking pan. Now I'm actually using a square pan. I'm going with a 9 by 9. But if you have a 9 by 13, a little bit bigger, your brownies, it's the same, same recipe and everything. Mine will just be a little bit fatter. Yours will be a little bit longer. If you have a longer pan, no problem. Number 5, bake for 25 to 30 minutes. So you're going to check them at 25, okay? Now there's no egg in this, so 25, it's fine. If you want them a little more baked, though, you'll go 30 minutes. So bake for 25-30 minutes in a preheated oven until the top is no longer shiny. Let cool for at least 10 minutes before cutting into squares. Okay, so let's get into the recipe. Okay, so boom. That's what you should have written down. Okay, you can always go back and listen again. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wash my hands. Always got to wash your hands before you start doing any baking or cooking in the kitchen. Because I've been touching stuff, right? I'm playing with my kids, etc., etc. Awesome. Okay. There we go. The backs of your wrists up to your arms, really. Okay, it's good to go. Okay, and I have my oven mitt handy this time, so my helper, aka Mrs. Rouleau, will not have to find that for me. Okay, so let's begin. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to preheat my oven. Now I've already done that. Remember I mentioned you never put anything into a cold oven. You always got to preheat it, okay? So it's preheated to 375 degrees and it's actually all ready to rock. Okay, step 2, in a large mixing bowl, we're going to stir together the flour, sugar, cocoa powder, baking powder, and salt. So flour, I need 1.5 cups. So I have 1 cup, a half cup, and I got my full cup and my half cup. All right. If you only have a half cup, half, one and a half. Okay. All right. So here we go. Nice. Get the flour. Gently pat it down. Looks good. That's 1 cup. Okay. And a half cup. Half cup. 1.5 cups flour. Done. Alright. Just get this out of the way. Make some room. Perfect. Okay, sugar. I need 1 cup of sugar. So I'm just going to use the same measuring cup I just used. My sugar. It's tricky doing these videos with a microphone. It's always in the way. Alright, so there's my 1 cup sugar. Get that in there. Perfect. Now I need my cocoa powder, so I need a half cup plus 1 tablespoon of baking cocoa powder. Great value. This is from Walmart. So I got my half cup. Okay, half cup plus 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon. Boom. Awesome. And baking powder, I'll be right back. There we go, got my baking powder. And I need 3/4. Remember, there's no such thing as a 3/4 teaspoon, so I'm going to do 1/4 3 times. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Boom. And 3/4 teaspoon salt. Okay, so I'm just going to mix this up. Blend it, okay? So really try to make it like a light brown color in there. Alright. I like to blend it for, I don't know, 20-30 seconds just to make sure it's all incorporated. Okay, so I've left. You shouldn't see any white. It should be a light brown by the time you're done. Okay, so it should be a nice light brown like that. Cool. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is pour in water, oil, and vanilla. So, I got my liquid measure. Okay, I'm going to pour in some water. Now remember, you want to try to get nice and low. Right, when you're looking at your measuring cup, you want to get nice and low. Wow. I don't know how I do it, but that is exactly 3/4 cups water. That was a fluke. Again, pour it in there. Alright. Now we need oil. 3/4 cups oil. Again, you want to get nice and low. 3/4 cup water, 3/4 cup vegetable. I got it. Alright, nice and low. See that meniscus? Boom. 3/4 cups oil. Now, with this recipe, you want to be wearing an apron. Obviously, to keep your clothes clean and keep whatever's on your clothes away from your whatever you're making. Oil, if you get it on your clothes, it will stain. Okay, so it can be really be kind of nasty for your clothes. So you always want to be wearing an apron when you're doing any type of baking with oil or cooking with oil. Okay, and we got last but not least 3/4 teaspoon of vanilla. Ooh, my favorite. I love my vanilla. Here we go. 3/4 again. 1/4 3 times, folks. Here we go. Count with me. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. That is a good time. Cool. Alright, and let's mix it up. I'm not going to use the whisk this time. I'm going to use a spoon. If you have a wooden spoon, perfect. I'm using a slotted, just standard spoon. Okay, and mix it up. Now it's going to look really oily at first, so you got to really kind of scrape around the sides and bring them in, okay? So bring all the ingredients from the sides into the middle so you're not missing anything, okay? There we go. Oh, and it starts to get thick, okay? So you're going to get that full-on workout again. Okay, so really get it incorporated. Don't overmix it, okay? Don't want to overmix it. You just want to blend it just so, you're not seeing any more flour or anything. So it should look like that. So nice and, it's kind of hard to see, but, nice and thick. It still should be pretty shiny. You do not want to overmix it, okay? Now, I'm going to spoon it into my sheet. Now this, I got a little bit of an older baking pan here. So what I'm going to do is and it's not non-stick, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another step. Now if you do have, and ask your parents, but if you do have, obviously ask your parents before you do any baking in the kitchen, of course. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little oil all over my pan. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little oil in my pan. Then with a paper towel, I'm going to spread that oil around just to prevent sticking. Makes it easier to clean up, right? So what I mean is I'm oiling my pan. Now at QMS, what I would do here, if I didn't have a non-stick, because I'd use something called parchment paper. Okay, parchment paper is also really good for keeping food from sticking to your pans. All right, so now I'm going to take my brownie mixture and I'm going to put it in the pan. Ta-da! Pretty easy. Don't miss any. Make sure you get everything because it's so good. You don't want to waste it. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Good. All right. And now I'm gonna spread it out all over the pan. Okay. There we go. This looks good. Okay. So I try to just get it to all the corners. Make sure it's pretty level. Okay. Spoon it all over the plate. All over the pan. All the way to the corners. Oh yeah. Yeah. Good. Okay. All right. So we have our delicious brownie in our pan. It should look nice and shiny still. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it in the oven. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my oven mitt. Here we go. And I'm baking for 25 minutes. I'm going to check it at 25 minutes. Okay, now by 25 minutes it should be done. Okay, and it's done because it shouldn't be that shiny on the top. It should be kind of like a dull. It shouldn't be that glossy look to it. Okay, that's how you know it's finished. So I'm going to put it in 25 minutes and I will take a picture of my results. Feel free to share your pictures as well. I really like to see them. It looks really cool to see your masterpieces. Okay, so get them in the oven. Use your oven mitts, all right, and bon appetit. Enjoy. Take care, guys.